When I was a kid, wrestling was so important to me. And one of my favorite heroes is the first time ever Afro-American Intercontinental champions. And tonight, it actually is my birthday night because it's June 12 in Italy. I have an honor, sacred honor to have on my show WWE legend that make history in wrestling in this business. That is also a time of pride. And the name of my guest is the one and the only Tony Harris, aka Ahmed Johnson. So guys, please welcome Tony Harris, Ahmed Johnson, my show.
Okay, then.
Welcome to the show, Tony.
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy to have you. And now I use also my phone to don't have an echo in the audio. So let's put the stuff. So like that. Now it's perfect. So the first thing that I want to share with you before to introduce many topics in your career is this. Actually, this one is my custom figure of you with the Ahmed
Hey,
Johnson ring attire of 1995.
yes, sir.
I think you are the typical wrestler with the natural charisma, no?
Yes.
Because everybody was surprised during your debut as a wrestler. But I want to do a throwback in your life. When you discover your talent as a wrestler and you decide to have this future in your life, in this career, how you discover your talent?
I think it's when I was playing football, I realized how good my talent was. And then I went to Ivan Pussy School who trained me. And then when I started training, I realized it was something I wanted to do.
Awesome. And by the way, I have also for you that I will share with you an action custom figure of Ivan Putski, one of your
Oh,
masters.
Ivan Pussy.
Tell me
Oh,
something about him. Tell me something about the first time you meet Ivan Putski and how was at the time Ivan. Tell me something about that.
he was a tough dude, man. When I first met him, he was very friendly, but very tough and stern. And he didn't play. He didn't play. He was a hard dude, man.
But he saw something in you because he understand maybe before than you your charisma, your talent at the time, I believe.
Yes.
And do you remember what is your first ever before WWF, your first ever wrestling match that you had as a pro?
No, I really don't remember the first one. It was against Rick Rivas, I believe.
Ah, okay. It was before your debut in the WWF.
Yes.
Because I do some research today, I saw that maybe I don't know if it's correct, but maybe your first time ever match in the WWF, if it's correct, was before to become Ahmed Johnson in a house show on July 15, 1995 against a guy that was called Rico Suave. Is correct that?
Yes. Yes. He was a excellent wrestler, man. I don't see why they didn't sign him too, because he was a perfect wrestler.
Wow.
He was a good guy, man.
And you did a tryout before to go in the WWF. How was at the time your beginning in the WWF?
Yeah, well, I had the tryouts, and then after we did the tryouts, I got picked. They just picked me to come to WWF.
Okay. Do you remember what is the first member of the WWF that you met? How you go in contacts with them? What is the beginning about that? What is the you got a call? You someone help you to be introduced in the WWF?
Yeah, I got a phone call from Vince McMahon,
Wow.
and yeah, he told me he wanted to fly me up and talk to me. So I took the invitation. And I flew up there and talked to him.
How was at the time Vince McMahon? Because he's another guy with a big charisma, no? He's a guy that made history.
Yes, yes, he's an excellent businessman. You got to give him that.
Ah, okay. And who had the idea for to create the character of Ahmed Johnson with this red ring attire? Who had this idea? Do you remember?
Well, the Ahmed Johnson was Vince's idea, and I wore the red ring attire because I used to belong to a gang called the Bloods. So that's why wore the red ring attire.
Ah, okay. And you are also famous because you are the only one guy that slam Yokozuna. And by the way, let's see, because I have also an action figure of him. So let's see. I have a lot of stuff right here in the box.
I can't even see you now, Terry. I can't see him.
You don't see me?
No,
Oh, maybe it's the connection, the internet connect. Because I see you, I hear you, you don't see me. Because also I see another device that we are both on screen. You don't see me.
no, I don't see you.
Oh, sounds it's weird because on YouTube I see me and you together, and now I see you.
Yeah, I can't do anything. Okay,
But can
now I
you
can see
hear?
you.
You
I can
can
see you
see.
now.
Sorry, because the connection
That's
isn't an
okay.
easy. Is in the night in Italy, but still I'm in Italy. You are US, so it's not easy. However, I want to talk about this guy Yokozuna.
Yokozuna.
Yeah, because you are the guy that slammed Yokozuna when Yokozuna was 600 pounds.
Right.
How difficult was that?
Oh man, I was scared at first. I didn't know if I could pick him up. But my intensity and all that, I got together, and I just finally picked him up and slammed him. Man, it was hard.
Yeah, I believe you. So, but
It was like
you are
yeah,
really
it's like
strong guy.
it's like picking up a truck.
You are a really strong guy. But you was
Yes,
strong also before to become a wrestler. So you're strong as natural, or you because you're training you become super strong.
right. I trained a lot. I lifted a lot of weights and trained a whole lot, man.
How difficult, how hard was training for wrestling to have a good physique like you?
Say it again.
How hard was training at the time?
Basically, I was training with me and Stevie Ray used to train together. Remember Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we used to train together, and that we was training together even before professional wrestling. We used to work out together.
Cool. It was how many hours do you spend at the time in the gym?
Maybe hour and a half.
Wow. I think I think it's not the. I think I want to talk with you about a little bit philosophy concept because I think that every wrestler is not just an athlete, but is also an artist. Because in the ring, you play a character, you tell a storyline, but also a story. They put your character like a superhero in a storyline, and each show is a new chapter of this story, like a book. Do you agree
Right.
with that?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. I mean, they give you the character, and it's up to you to put the character over, you know. But yeah, they give you a character when you come in, and that's the character you got to play. Like, I'm from Pearl River, Mississippi, but I've never been to Pearl River, Mississippi. I don't even know where that's at. But they said, that's what they said I was from, so that's where I was from.
Hmm, yeah. And you works with many other your fellow legends at the time, including the late great Owen Hart.
Yeah,
Do
great
you have
man.
some story about Owen?
Owen was a great man, man. He liked to play jokes on you, and he played a lot of them on me, man. I remember one time we was in California for WrestleMania,
Mm.
and my phone rang. I thought it was Jay Leno's show because he was talking like he was Jay Leno and saying can't wait to see me and this that and the other. So I went out and brought a whole new outfit, brought new shoes, a whole new outfit and everything because I thought I was going to the Jay Leno show. And then come to find out it was Owen and Bulldog that called my room and played a joke on me.
And about Yokozuna, do you have some story about Yokozuna?
Um, Yoko just, Yoko was a cool dude. I mean, when I first got there, me and Yoko kind of, got into it. But once we settled that, man, Yoko was a good guy, man.
Was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
And what is your relation at the time, but also today, with the fan, the people that watch you? Maybe they were a kid like me, and also today recognize you maybe in the convention. Tell me something about that.
Oh, my fans, I love my fans, man. My fans are the greatest fans there is, man. Like my birthday was Tuesday, and I
Yeah,
mean, a lot of fans, wrote in telling me happy birthday, and it was unbelievable, man. But they know that I'll respond back to them.
awesome, awesome.
I respond
And
back to all my fans.
I think that, in my opinion, you are a guy that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because you make history in wrestling. And
Yes,
I'm
sir.
talking about when you defeat this other guy, Goldust. They have also an action figure of Goldust on King of the Ring, June 23rd, and you become the first time ever in wrestling history Intercontinental Champions. Tell me something about that night.
Oh, that night was fun, man. I mean, me and Goldust went in there, and when you in the ring with Goldust, you're gonna have a lot of fun because he likes to play a lot in the ring. And so we got in the ring, and he gave me that kiss, and that was it. It was time to go into a real match with him. But Goldust is a lot of fun, man. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, yeah. Now I think today, I think he still work for AEW, I think. Goldust, I think. With his real name, Dustin Rhodes, I think. But back to you. Do you are you retired or you still do some matches sometimes today?
No, I retired, man. I'm through. I do appearances, but I don't do no matches. I'm done. My old body can't take it no more.
What is your last match in your career that you did?
Who was my last match? I think with Farouk.
Ah, Farouk.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Farouk later. Now I want to talk about another of your opponents in your career because you're a part of the new generation era also and also the attitude era. But you fight against another big guy. I'm talking about Vader, the
I
late
love
great.
Vader, man.
Yeah.
I
Do you have
love
some?
fighting.
Tell me
Go ahead.
something about.
I love fighting against Vader because with Vader, you knew he was going to hit you hard. And he told me before we went out, he said, "Man, look, he said, I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to hit you." He said, "So you can hit me back." The thing about Vader was he was so tough, man, until he didn't mind getting hit back the way he hit you. And you can't beat that. I mean, most guys will cry, "Oh, he's hitting me too hard." But not Vader. Vader wanted you to hit him hard.
Awesome. Your match between Vader, you and Vader was awesome. Sometimes I rewatch your match, also because I think that wrestling today is not good like in your era, because your era, everybody has a character, no?
Right.
Everybody is a personality. Today looks like everybody looks the same. We have this cruiserweight that can beat a big guy, something that is unreal. It's difficult to believe. And they have a lack of today, lack of personality, lack of charisma, lack of storyline. So what do you think about a comparison between your era and the current today wrestling?
Well, in my era, I think that we were a lot tougher. And this today's era, they don't have jobbers. They don't bring guys in to take a look at them like they used to. Every match is a main event match, which doesn't make sense. Before they would bring in somebody, new to take a look at them to see how good they were. Like, Rico Suave, he's one of the guys that should have been in WWF because he was that good. But they never took a look at him.
Hey, you have a match with other great legends like you. One of that was at that time the ringmaster Steve Austin.
Yeah, Stone Cold.
Tell me something about Stone Cold. How was work with him, and maybe if you have some story, how was also him in the backstage, something like that.
Well, I never really got to work with him but once, and that was in Kuwait, and he did a good job, man. I mean, he was a good wrestler, man. But that's when his gimmick was first getting off the ground. And he wasn't Stone Cold then. He was I forgot what he was. But he wasn't Stone Cold. But when he became Stone Cold, man, the fans loved him to death.
Yeah, I know. He challenged absolutely the when he challenged the gimmick. He challenged also is the feedback from the crowd at the time. But
Right.
you got immediately a huge feedback from the fan because I think that they felt immediately your charisma. Tell me something about your feelings at the time during your entrance because you're a guy that everybody feel your charisma immediately. Also, just to watch you in your entrance moment.
Yeah, the fans, I get a lot of fan mail, and they they love my charisma. They love my intensity. They love when I came to the ring. I got a guy that wrote me the other day says he listened to my entrance music before going to work every day because it psychs him up. So the fans love me with my intensity, and they love to see somebody who was real in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel that when I watch your match, your intensity, and your also your charisma. You feel that there is something special in you. Is the reason why everybody still remember you to get today, no? Because
Yes,
you makes your marks in the business, in my opinion.
yes.
And you works with another super famous character is Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. Tell me something about Shawn Michaels and how was work with the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels at that time.
Well, he was good tag team partner, but I never got to work against him. And I heard that was by design. He didn't want to work with me, so I never got to work against him. And he didn't want to give the belt up because I was going to get the world championship belt, but Sean didn't want to give it up.
Yeah, I think Shawn was had a big ego at that time. I think.
Yes, very big ego.
And how was the atmosphere in the backstage at that time?
Do what now?
How was the atmosphere in the backstage? How huge was the clique and this stuff at the time in the backstage?
Well, everybody had their little cliques going on. Like, you had the Nation who had their little clique going on, and Shawn Michaels and had his little clique going on. So it was like if you got to be one of the groups in order to get over. But I never joined any groups. I was all about me and not joining groups. I didn't need another man standing behind me.
Mhm. I think also I believe that also they respect you also because if you're a charisma also in the backstage, the people feel that they feel maybe don't cross the line with Ahmed Johnson, no?
Right. Exactly.
So they people respect you. But let's talk about another feud that you had with this Farouk.
Yes.
Tell me something about Farouk.
Um,
Your match with him.
well, he was jealous of me, very jealous, because I became the first black Intercontinental champion, and he was the first black world champion at WCW. And I guess he thought they were going to bring him in and put the belt on him, but they didn't. They put it on me. So he was very jealous, and most of our matches were pretty tough. We were shooting on each other.
I think also you was injured because him is correct.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
maybe do you think it was intentional because he was jealous of you?
Yes, I think it's very intentional. He
Wow.
even admitted on a podcast that he did it because he was jealous. He admitted it.
Wow, this
So,
is really this is bad.
and with the Nation Domination, there was nobody really important but Farouk. All the rest of them were just, flunkies, basically.
Yeah. This is happen especially in the also in the art in the music business is the same problem. No, the people
Yes.
that are jealous maybe because they have less talent than you, so not so try to take over your position because they are so jealous and recognize maybe you something that they haven't. No, I think.
Oh, yeah, they were very jealous about my relationship with the fans, how the fans pop when I come out. They were very jealous. But in a way, I can't blame them because, I hadn't been wrestling that long, and I got put up WWF and was pushed right away. So I understand some of their jealousy.
Yeah, yeah. And you have you was I read on the web that you team also with the Undertaker a few times.
Did I team Undertaker?
Yes, did you work with the Undertaker as a team a few
Um,
times?
we never got to tag up, and I was hoping we did, but they never tagged us up or worked a match with us. We just, basically went in there and he did a choke slam. I gave him a per river plunge, and that was it. We never really got to work together.
Okay, do you have some story about him in the backstage?
Who, Undertaker?
Yeah.
No, I
Do
didn't
you-
hear any stories about him.
what is at the time in the backstage in the locker room? Your friends, the people that were most friend with you.
Um, I was buddies with Rikishi, and Savio Vega was another one I was buddies with.
Yeah, yeah, cool guys also. Then I think.
But besides those guys, I really didn't talk to anybody else or hang out with anybody else.
Okay, I think also because of your charisma. When you have a big charisma, a big personality, it's difficult to find a true friend. No, because again, the people are jealous when
Yes,
someone has something special. This is typical.
yes,
I know that also because I'm a musician, a writer. I know the music business is not so different than wrestling. Speaking of this jealousy and this problem.
yes. There's a lot of jealousy backstage, man. You'll be surprised how much backstage, and what they didn't seem to realize it's a show. I'm not that person. You're not that person. We're putting on a show, and most of the guys didn't realize that. They think they are that character.
Yeah. I have only a message for the chat, the people that write in the chat. Guys, continue to put your question, and maybe later Tony will answer. Tony, aka Ahmed Johnson, will answer some of your question later because there is a message now. So, um, you had also some match. Also, again, this guy. I talking about Double J Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, well, Jared was a good worker. It's just that when I worked against Jeff Jarrett, I was still green, and I didn't really know that much about the business, and it showed sometime in the ring. But Jeff Jarrett was a good guy to work with.
I read also something about you because the problem we don't know sometimes on the web if accurate or not. But I read that. Let me know if it's correct. That you won the USWA championship against Jerry Lawler. Is
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
I have also figure.
I beat Jerry Lawler for the world championship for the belt that they had in Memphis.
Tell
And
me
I
something
came out.
about Jerry Lawler. How was work with Lawler, and how was Lawler also behind the scene?
Lawler was a good person as far as the mentor goes. He was very good and a good worker and had excellent mic skills. I mean, he could talk on the mic like nobody's business. And so Lawler was a good person as far as all that goes.
Ah, cool. So before to become an Intercontinental champion, you got also this title before in your career.
I did what now?
No, I repeat, I only recap that before to become an Intercontinental champions in the WWF, you was also a USWA World Champion.
Right. I was USWA world champion. I was Kuwaiti world champion, India, and Africa.
And do you have do you still have a copy of your belt? What happened when you got a belt? You are allowed to have a copy for your full life, or maybe not. How works that?
Yeah, I still have the belt.
So do
It's in
you
a
have
box.
also your copy of the Intercontinental Championship?
Yeah, I got it in the box
Wow.
somewhere in the garage.
Wow. You need to put not why in the garage. You need to put in a big shelves. That come on, is the
Yeah, I know I need to
it's a
buy.
piece of history, man.
Yes, I need to buy a case for it.
Yeah, because that era was awesome. I remember was all to me one of the things I remember so much. It was the moment they used Slam Yokozuna. Was impossible to believe that. No, if you are, oh man, how much power you need to do that. I think that everybody still remember forever that moment. The moment you become Intercontinental champions is something that is impossible to forget. It's the reason
No,
why I think that we need to do to push that also as a fan. Come on, Ahmed Johnson next year Hall of Fame 2024.
yeah, I don't know if Vince agreed with that. He's mad at me, so
Yeah,
he
because there are a
he
lot.
may.
There's sorry if I interrupt you.
That's
Uh,
okay.
because there is a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that they don't deserve that. Come on, people that just was like this those divas, no Kelly, these girls. No, why they are in the Hall of Fame and Ahmed Johnson not? Guy like you, Demolition, King Kong Bundy. Why the legends are not in the Hall of Fame?
I
I
don't know. If Vince is mad at you, then he's not gonna put you in the Hall of Fame. So I wouldn't call it the Hall of Fame. I call it the Hall of Shame. Because if he's mad at you, he's not gonna put you in there.
yeah, it's politics. I think.
You know, it should be, what the guys accomplished in the WWF. Like me being
Yeah,
the first African American champion, that's Hall of
ah,
Fame worthy no matter what. But
absolutely.
Vince is mad at me, so when he's mad at me, he may not do it.
Yes, it's absolutely. Yeah, I'm agree with you also because every year I see guys that why this girl or this guy is the Hall of Fame instead of real legends like you that made history. And speaking of guys that made history, you had also some match against the Rocky Maivia, Rocky
Yeah,
Johnson's son, The Rock. How was
yeah.
work with The Rock?
It was okay working with him, man. I mean, we were never like buddies or anything, but it was okay working with him. He was okay in the ring.
Was
But I
do,
mean,
do you think because now he is a huge movie star, no?
yes,
But do you think, just a speculation, that without his father, his grandfather-in-law, I think actually, because Peter Maivia was his grandfather-in-law, I think, if
yes.
I'm correct. Do you think that maybe without them now maybe we haven't a super movie star. If because of that, he was a little bit too much support in the beginning. What do you think about that?
Yeah, his father, being the first black tag team, kind of opened the doors for all of us. But yeah, he got a little special treatment because he was Pia Vida and Rocky Maivia's son, and granddad. So that played a big role in him getting a push like he did. But I think the rest of it, the charisma and the mic skills, he just had it. He was just good on the mic, man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He is another guy with charisma. No
Yes.
questions about it. But maybe sometimes have parents with previously fame help a little bit to have a better position in the cards or in your careers. I think just to speculate, because I think he is an awesome superstar as well. But sometimes no, there is maybe other guys with the same talents, but maybe they didn't got the same chance. No, I think.
Yes, for sure.
This is typical in every country, in every type of art. If you are a famous father or famous mother, you got more open doors in your career, no?
Yes, for sure. Your parents kind of opened the doors for you, and that happened to Rocky. He his father and his grandfather opened the doors for him, and that gave him a big push.
Yeah. Speaking of a guy of big push, you work also with this guy, Triple H, when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yes.
Tell me something about the early days of Triple H, and also how was work with him at the time.
Well, Triple H was a good guy until he got with Shawn Michaels. When he got with
Okay.
Shawn Michaels, then he became part of the clique. He wasn't the same anymore. But up until then, I mean, Triple H was a good guy to work with, man. I enjoyed working with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I I easy understand that. And also during your time, also was the returns of another guy with charisma, but they have some backstage problem. Maybe because also for him they were jealous. I don't know. I'm talking about the Ultimate Warrior. Do you have
Yeah,
some connection with him
yeah. The
at the
Ultimate
time?
Warrior. I remember one time, we get to the building, and out the blue, Ultimate Warrior was like, "Ahmed, come and get dressed with me," because he had his own locker room. So I went in his locker room, got dressed, and he kind of told me the story about everybody. And there was a lot of jealous people of Ultimate Warrior because he didn't hang out with them. You know what I'm saying? He didn't drink or do drugs or anything. So he didn't hang out with the guys. He kind of went his own thing. And they took that as him being snobby, but he wasn't being snobby. That's just the way he is. He was kind of like me. He didn't hang out with people.
Yeah,
And if
because
you
they
don't
are
hang out with
jealous.
them, yeah, if you don't hang out with them, that's where all jealousy and everything comes from. But
But
no,
I think that he was kind with you.
yeah, Ultimate Warrior was a good dude, man. He was a great guy, man.
Yeah, yeah. This is the other side of the moon, no? Because you hear many people that tell bad things about Warrior, but maybe because they are so jealous and they create a bad reputation about someone that was better than the people that criticize him, no? I think.
Right,
Yeah, this is typical of the show business in general. In general.
right. Very difficult.
And if you watch your entire career, what was the most difficult moment and why?
The most difficult.
Yeah.
Um, I think when I left, it was very difficult because I never told Vince the real reason why I was leaving, and I think it was very difficult for me to leave, but it's something I had to do.
Okay. And why you leave?
Well, my sister was sick, and I had to tend to her, and that, and then all the drugs that was there and everything else. I didn't want to get tied up in all that
Yeah,
because a lot of guys have passed away from drugs, and I
yes.
tried to stay away from that.
And recently we lost to legend, superstar Billy Graham and Iron Sheik. Do you ever met one of them?
Yeah, I met both of them. I met Superstar Bill Graham at the airport, and I met the Iron Sheik as he used to ride with us sometime. We used to go up and down the road with the Iron Sheik with a bunch of the boys.
How was Iron Sheik? Was crazy like he looks like, or was different behind the scene?
He's crazy, man. Just what he looked like. He was crazy. Strong
However,
little
he had
man though.
it's incredible that he had a long life because he passed at 81 years old. Is a long life for a
Yes.
crazy dude like the Iron Sheik.
Yeah, Iron Sheik was crazy, brother. He really was.
And what is the best day of your career?
The best day,
Yeah.
I would say when I won the Intercontinental title. That was the best day because it happened in Wisconsin, which I was surprised. They were so happy for me, and I didn't expect that.
And did you? What is your opinion about some guys, writer people behind the scene like Bruce Preacher or Pat Patterson?
Pat Patterson was he wasn't somebody I would deal with at all,
Okay.
you know. So I mean, I can't say too much about Pat Patterson and Bruce Pritchard. He didn't really have that dealing with the boys. He kept his office work pretty professional. So I didn't do a deal with Bruce Pritchard either.
What is when you decide to start your career, your hero or the wrestling star that you love at the time that maybe inspire you to go inside this business?
Who inspired me?
Yes, yes. Was your favorite wrestler when you decide to start your career?
Well,
Speaking
my
of,
favorite wrestler when I first started and I wanted to be like him was Nikita Koloff.
wow.
I don't know if you remember Nikita Koloff.
Yes, yes, I remember.
Yeah, Nikita Koloff is who I like, man, who I pattern my style after.
He is the son of Ivan Koloff, I believe,
I don't know.
because I
I don't know
think
if
I'm not
you.
sure. I'm not sure, but probably because they have the same name, so
Uh huh.
probably they are related. I think.
I'm
Eh,
not sure.
I'm not sure also because also the problem is that on the web you find many information, and not all of this information are actually real, no, because some
Right.
say rumors and this stuff. How hard was working for the WWF at the time? Speaking of tour, live show, this stuff.
It was very demanding. I mean, it was fun, but it was very demanding on your body and your time. So I mean, that's why a lot of guys in WWF got divorced and the wives left them because they didn't have time to spend with their families. So in doing that, it was like you either pick the business or you pick your family. You
Wow.
pick one or the other, and I chose my family.
I think that you do the right decision because the spotlight can during for a brief time, but the family is forever, in my opinion. No?
Yes,
Do you have kids?
yes, I have.
And
I have three boys: Zachary, Tony, and Marvin, and I have a daughter, two daughters named Amanda and Nina.
one of them follow your footsteps about wrestling?
No,
No.
no, I wouldn't want it to. I would want it to. My son's a police officer in Atlanta, and the other one is a mail carrier, and the other one works for the Department of Corrections. So no, I definitely would not want them to follow in my footsteps because I didn't enjoy it, and I don't think they would enjoy it either.
Yeah, you know the dark side of the ring. What is the
Yes,
situation behind the scene, behind the curtains?
very dark side of the ring.
And what is your passion outside wrestling? What do you do? Just a hobby? Also at the time, but also today. What do you do to be happy, to have fun?
To do what now?
To in your free time, your life. What is your other passion? Also because we know that you're wrestling, so you love wrestling a little. But what is your other passion? Your hobby. So what do you like to do in your free time?
I like spending time with my family, man, on my free time. You know, when I left wrestling, I went into the oil business and I worked for a dress ran oil. But my passion is my family.
Okay, do you like to answer some question from the fam in the chat?
Sure.
So let's see. I scroll a little bit. There's a question for you from Kenjiro Sang Arena. Says, can you ask him about the push that he got from Kama at the Royal Rumble 1998? That looked legit angry.
Well, no, I don't think we were angry. I mean, we were just, doing our jobs, playing our gimmicks.
Okay, it was about the story.
No, it was there was nothing behind it that I knew of. But like I said, there
Okay.
was a lot of jealous guys there. So I mean, he may have thought something of it. I didn't.
Yeah, or was Kama behind the scene?
Do what now?
Or was Kama behind the scene?
Um, he was somebody I really didn't deal with, so I really can't tell you about him. But he's another one that hated on me. You
Okay.
know, he was another one of them haters. And like I said, I don't blame them because they've been in the business like for 14 years. I've been in the business like a year or two, and I got the big push, and they didn't. So there's a lot of jealousy there too.
You explode because of your charisma, and the people behind the writers saw that, I think, and they
Yeah,
saw
I
right.
I gave them something different. You know, they
Yeah,
had already seen all the fake intensity, the oh I'm a tough guy and all that, but they can look at me and tell it was real.
yeah.
And that's what the
So
fans like. They like something different.
absolutely, they feel the charisma, something unique.
Yes.
Okay, let's move to the next question from the fan. Damien Ristori says, I'm an 80s WrestleMania kid at Earth. I grew up with like of a Big Bossman, Earthquake, Typhoon, etc. Actually, those three were my favorite. Ahmed, did you ever meet any of them in person?
The boss man, yeah. I was there when the boss man was there. But I've never met Earthquake or Typhoon. Just the boss man.
Okay, also because Earthquake and Typhoon work in a different moments in the WWF.
Yes.
Because I think the last match of Typhoon was in 1994 and Bossman 1993, so a little bit earlier. There is a question with a large range, in my opinion. This one, if you can share your earliest memories of wrestling.
My early memory of wrestling, man, was sweating my butt off with Ivan Putski in that gym, trying to become a character. And nobody thought I would be as big as I was. Um, but my earliest memories of man is was I enjoyed it in the beginning. I mean, worse can you go and get in the ring and beat people up and get paid for it. So I really enjoyed it in the beginning.
I want to share also some comments. The people that they think that you deserve the Hall of Fame. So Brian Starr says you belong to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Brian.
Also Damien.
Thank you, Damon.
Also Rocco is an artist that was my guest yesterday in the show.
Thanks, Rocco.
So let's see. Oh, there is a question for a fan of my previous channel. People visiting channel says, your opinion on Roman Reigns.
He's a good worker, but I think they left the belt on him too long. I mean, it's not even interesting anymore when he has a match because you know he's going to win. He's going to go over. So, I mean, him being a good worker, I think it's time they take the belt off him and give it to somebody else because it's getting old.
Yeah. There is another comments for Brian. Ask you if he can have another matchup from you because he said that Ric Flair, Steve Wrestler, 73. So
Yeah, I'm getting in shape to where I can do another match. I'm getting in shape now, brother. Where I can do another match. It's coming.
so because I see you in really good shape, man. So
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm working on it. I lost like 115 pounds. I mean, I was huge,
wow.
and I lost like 115 pounds, and I'm just getting back in my fighting weight now.
I hope to see your match someday. Damien asked you if you're a follower at the time of the UK Wars Wrestling about stars like Big Daddy or Giants A Stacks.
No, I didn't even know that they had a world wrestling in the UK. But if they got one, I would like to watch it.
Okay. Rocco asked if it's possible to do a petition to have you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Rocco, go and get one started, brother. I'll sign it. But with Vince
Uh,
McMahon being mad at me, I don't know if he's going to do that, man. Because he was pretty pissed at me.
Bloodsport number one asked if you ever knew Booker T before to become a member of the Harlem Heat.
Oh yeah, I knew Booker T for a long time, man, and we used kind of me and his brother worked together. So yeah, I knew him before he was even a wrestler.
Rocco says he loves to watch you in the match at the time.
Thanks, Rocco.
How much time do you still have for the interview now?
Do what now?
How much time we can continue the interview now? How much time do you have to continue the show?
Um, Not that much more. I gotta go make sure my daughter's in bed.
So maybe 10 minutes?
Yeah, you can go 10 minutes.
Okay. Uh, do you still have, what is a general question about your life? Do you have a dream that you never realized so far in your life that you want maybe do in your future?
Do I have dreams of the future?
Yes, about your future.
No, I've been pretty blessed, man, as far as my future goals, and like I said, you know, work for the old company and all that. I've been pretty blessed, man. So I don't really have any qualms about the future. I am upset that I left the WWF the way I did. I mean, I wish I would have left it under better conditions with Vince, but you know, at that time, my sister was sick. I wasn't thinking. I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah. And did you ever consider to become a tag team wrestler with someone, or was difficult because of the jealousy?
Yeah, it's called the jealousy. I think that me and Farouk would have made a good tag team,
Yeah.
but it would have been devastating with me and Farouk together. We got two superpowers coming together. So, yeah, besides that, that's about the only person I ever dreamed tag team with.
Yeah. And what is you work beside the moment of the Intercontinental Championship? There is another moment that you like so much of your career.
Um, the Intercontinental Championship, and then when I first got signed, I enjoyed it. When Vince called me to his office and gave me a contract, I was happy.
There is a question for the fans for a possible comeback at Royal Rumble.
Oh man, I would love to come back during the Royal Rumble. I don't know if Vince allowed me to, but I would love to do that.
Yes, will be an oh my god moment. Ahmed Johnson is back. Let's see that question. Ask Ahmed how you jump over the rope from the floor.
I don't know. I just had that leaping ability, man. I've always been able to jump real high. In high school, I was a high jumper. In high school on the track team. As big as I was, I could, do the high jump. So I just enjoyed doing it, man.
How difficult was avoid to be injured in a match?
How what now?
How difficult was avoid to be injured during a match?
How often did guys get injured?
How difficult was avoid that to become injured in a match?
I don't understand the question.
How difficult was try to escape the possibility to become injured?
I'm not sure.
Is easy got an injury during a match?
Yeah, I got injured quite a few times during the match.
Yeah.
Like when Fruit hit my kidney, he lacerated my kidney. I'm still having a problem with that today. But
really?
Yeah, but I've been injured quite a few times, man, in the match. My ACL got tore. My shoulder was knocked out of socket. So you get injured, you will have injuries.
Do you have some advice for people that try to be a wrestler today?
Yes, just continue your dreams and don't give up, man. Just you got to push it. I mean, if nobody else believes in you, you got to believe in you. Because that's how I was. I mean, nobody thought I would go to WWF. But, it was a dream of mine. And I kept working, and kept pushing it. And I got there finally. So continue to do your little house shows and keep training. And you never know if you can make it one day.
Do you still in contact with some of your fellow wrestlers today?
Not really. I talk to Rikishi sometime and sometimes Fabio Vega. But that's about all. I don't really associate with anybody else.
There is someone today that you like in the modern era of wrestling?
I really don't watch the new wrestling, man. And if I did, I think I like Cody Rhodes.
Yes, it's nice, Cody.
Yeah.
How difficult is to a wrestler during a tour stay safe?
How difficult is what now?
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
How difficult was to have a tour?
Oh, touring they gotta wear you out, man. It wears on your body, your time zone. I mean, doing them tours aren't as easy as people think they are, but you get paid a lot of money for them.
So now it's time for the outro, the last moment of the show, to the last song to say goodbye and to say a big thank you to you, my friend.
You're welcome, man.
Let's go. Thanks for watching. Thanks to enjoy the show. And thank you, Ahmed, to be a part of the show. So thank you so much to be on the show.
You're welcome.
And I hope one day to have you back.
Huh?
I hope one day to have you back on my show in the future.
Okay, no problem, man. Just let me know.
Thank you so much. God bless you. And thank you to all of you guys.